On behalf of the Occupational Health and Safety Department, welcome to UAMS. Our contact information is as follows. Our office phone number is 686-5536 and our web address is shown here. The goal of the Occupational Health and Safety Department is to provide the safest and healthiest environment possible for the entire UAMS community, thereby ensuring a safe and healthy environment, creating an ideal atmosphere for the promotion of learning, fostering high standards of research, and allowing for the provision of the highest quality health care. The following is a list of topics that will be covered in this presentation. Today we'll discuss respirators, waste streams, chemical storage and waste, the incident and injury report form, reporting hazards, hazard communication, driver safety, and ergonomics. The purpose of the information that you see here is to ensure that all employees that are required to wear disposable N95 type respirator protection as a condition of their employment are aware of the UAMS respiratory protection policy. This policy protects employees from respiratory hazards through the proper use of respirators. It applies to all employees who could potentially be exposed to airborne respiratory illnesses during normal work operations and during non-routine or emergency situations. If your job duties require you to enter a patient's room in the hospital or administer chemotherapy in outpatient clinics, you must be part of the respirator program by completing the steps above. You must complete the steps outlined above even if you're wearing the respirator for personal comfort. Here's a detailed list of the types of waste that we have here on campus, as well as their containers. Please become familiar with and aware of the type of containers that match the waste that you're disposing of. In this section, we'll cover chemical safety, including chemical storage and waste, management and environmental chemical disposal, and hazard communication, the Hazard Communication Program, and SDS. Chemical storage and waste. Always store chemicals in approved cabinets or storage rooms. Never store chemicals in refrigerators or freezers that are not designed for chemical storage. They have open contact switches that could ignite a flammable or combustible fume or vapor. Never store chemicals in an electrical room or mechanical room. They have equipment with open contact switches that could ignite a flammable or combustible fume or vapor. Never store chemicals in closets or rooms that are not designed with proper ventilation for chemical storage. They could allow a buildup of flammable or combustible fumes or vapors. We cannot dispose of chemicals in normal trash or pour them down the drain. All chemicals must be disposed of through the OHS department. OHS will pick up all chemicals for disposal. Call 526-0000 or fill out a chemical pickup request form on the OHS website. The Safety Data Sheet, also known as the SDS, will provide all information needed to use any chemical. Each SDS sheet will have information for each of the 16 categories provided on the list shown here. Always refer to the SDS sheet before using a chemical to give the relevant information on how to handle it safely. OHS keeps a database called MSDS online of all chemicals on campus. The SDS. All chemicals can be identified by pictograms at a distance. Each pictogram identifies a category as listed above and will be displayed on the SDS sheet containing labels and shipping labels. In this section, we'll talk about I&I reporting, that is, incident and injury reporting, the I&I report form, reporting hazards, and signage. All incidents on UAMS property that result in injury to employees and students must be reported to Occupational Health and Safety as soon as possible, preferably within 48 hours. When an employee has an on-the-job injury requiring medical treatment, workers' compensation forms must also be completed by calling the Company Nurse Injury Hotline at 1-855-339 1893. These forms must be completed before seeking medical treatment, except when the injury involves a needle stick, blood-body fluid exposure, or requires immediate attention. Individuals who suffer a needle stick injury or blood-body fluid exposure should report immediately to the Employee Health Main Clinic for treatment during the hours of 8 a.m. through 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, and the emergency room after hours, weekends, and holidays. Individuals who suffer an injury that is serious and requires immediate attention should report immediately to the emergency department. The I&I form must be completed and the injury reported to the company nurse injury hotline as soon as possible after initial treatment. Reporting hazards. Any potential hazards you identify should be reported. You can report these hazards in the following ways. 1. Fill out the hazard report form on the OHS website, or you can call 526-0000. You can also call 686-5536 to report a hazard. Signage. Read all signs before entering an area. If you have not received specific training for the signs, do not enter the area. You may not be able to see it, feel it, or smell it, but hazards can still be present. We will now cover the UAMS Driver Safety Program, ergonomics, and the Bloodborne Pathogens Standard. The UAMS Vehicle Driver Safety Program requires any employee who drives a UAMS vehicle, rented or leased vehicle, or private vehicle as condition of employment be enrolled in the Driver Safety Program. This program applies to all employees, faculty, staff, contract employees, and students. You should be enrolled in the driver program if you travel from the hospital to clinics on a routine basis, if you work off campus and drive to UAMS main campus on a routine basis, or if you receive reimbursement for mileage from the travel department. Enrollment forms are on Occupational Health and Safety's website, or you may call 686-5536 for an enrollment form. Ergonomics. What are ergonomics? Ergonomics is the science of adapting equipment, procedures, and surroundings to people. Adapting your workstation, work environment, and work practices to fit your specific needs can help minimize the risk of developing musculoskeletal disorders. It will stop the progression to injury, will increase your productivity on the job, and make one's job more enjoyable. Contact UAMS Occupational Health and Safety Department if you'd like to have an ergonomic assessment of your workstation by calling 526-0000. All workers whose job duties potentially expose them to human blood and body fluids must complete the online bloodborne pathogen training. The Bloodborne Pathogen Standard applies to any UAMS employee who has the potential for exposure to blood or other potentially infectious materials, also known as opium, as a result of his or her specific job duties. Now, these titles are given on the two lists found at the website shown here. All UAMS employees covered by this standard must complete the Bloodborne Pathogens training session by accessing the link you see here. Thank you for viewing the OH&S safety presentation. Remember, safety is everyone's business and responsibility. Protect yourself.